There. Okay. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Because I should tell the internet. It's always a thing. One thing you gotta do, dudes, before streaming, blow your nose. Okay. Are you gonna be messing with me with Mr. Camera? All right. So, today's job whatever. Just firing it up. There's still... Just gonna do this. Alright, whatever. Fucking spoil sports on the internet. So. Did that switch? No, it didn't. There we go. Oh, my little thingy's not thinking. I should just turn up the... Oh, I know what I'm gonna do too. Oh, I suppose I can't. Whatever. We just got a little spoil sports on the internet, little butt hurters. Just getting my bearings here. It's been a while since I've done this. So, I suppose I should do the dong, the mastodon. Okay, so. Oh, we're not even like lined up here. What? There we go. Okay. I feel like I'm just like forgetting how this even works. So, today's job, we're gonna do a little, what's it called? We're gonna do a little design work. We're gonna do like, basically I need to do some UI design, some very light UI design, and then I gotta do some like code stuff to figure out, so this thing, where are we here? This, oops. I think that's it. Let's just see. Any second now. It's gonna. This is awfully strange. Okay, good. I sort of got like Twitch, so I'm streaming Twitch and YouTube at the same time because I can. This is the IBIS tool. It is a planning tool. So yeah, this is the IBIS tool. It's a planning tool comes from these guys in the 60s out of Berkeley called Horst Riddle and various other collaborators, depending on which paper you're looking at. What do we got here? So the idea of IBIS is to like effectively map out a bunch of design concerns so that you can see a set of concerns. You can see these so yeah, you map out a bunch of design concerns, and there's three kinds of entity. And now the first one is one we're looking at, and of course in this tool, there's a bunch of ways. Like let me just see here. Actually, I'll just load that up. I think no. Let's see if this. There we go. Is this one? Oh, you're gonna make me. Okay, we're not doing that. So this is from the 80s. You can kind of see how they implemented it. What else is there? Oh, that's. Oh no, that's good. I got it. So yeah, I mean these things, they kind of have a look to them. They're like these sort of box arrow kind of things, you know. What else have we got? Yeah. What else have we got? Anyway, so these little interludes where nobody's watching, I can just kind of be warm up, as it were. Okay, yeah. So, oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. I have two open that are the same. Actually, it's kind of funny because they one of them is like a mirror image of the other. So these are the same thing. One of them is just running locally. That's the one I'm going to be working on. So yeah, this is IBIS. This is my IBIS tool that I made. You've got these three classes of entities. We're looking at one right now. So the sort of lozenge on the left side is representing the lit up part of the graph. On the other side, this is a work in progress. The hyperbolic graph is a whole freaking thing. So today's job is, and what I'm going to be doing actually too, is I'm going to be working on the IBIS tool, and I'm also going to be using the IBIS tool to like catalog the actual thing that I'm working on. So yeah, so we've got this lit up thing. It's in the center. The thing that is going to be lit up is always going to be in the center. So like if you click on another thing, it recenters it. And yeah, you got this kind of like hyperbolic universe. It's not quite right yet, but it's fine. So there's 3 classes of entities in IBIS. IBIS, of course, comes from a couple of guys out of Berkeley in the 60s. They used to do it on index cards. It's been digitized since the 80s. Like there's this, this thing that I think was 88. Yeah, it says 97, 88 there. And I mean, most of these tools, like they exist. They're super niche. Most of these tools are, this I think was done on Sun machines. So like they would have been, Solaris. But most of these tools are, they have this sort of like box arrow paradigm. And I decided to do a sort of like node-centric paradigm where the thing that you're looking at is the thing in context. So this guy, this says client wants to use Intertwingler as a backend. So this is one of 3 classes of entities. And you can see that they're all connected, of course. You've got these, so these are the neighbors. Actually, I need to make these light up. So I can actually put that, well, I got to put that in somewhere. I don't actually know where to put it yet, but we'll get there. So an issue is like exactly what it sounds like. It's a thing in the world that needs something done about it. A position, so you can see that this position responds to an issue. And a position, is sort of like, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like what you want to do, a specific thing you want to do about an issue. Now, this is still the old prototype, so like there's no state in here, so I've just been writing that like done into the thing. But you can see that positions respond to issues, and then other things can like, so this is like a question by, so like here are some, and suggests, and we have like generalizes and specializes, so this is a superposition. Now, a position isn't necessarily a task either, but I have a whole sort of ontology for doing actual task planning. So like the idea is like the issues and positions, and the third type of thing is an argument. So an argument is like why or why not adopting a position. So an argument can support or oppose a position. So you just got these 3 classes of thing. You've got issues, you got positions, and you got arguments. Issue, again, something's in the world that needs to happen, or you got to steer around it because you can't do anything about it, whatever. It's an issue. Again, it's exactly what it sounds like. A position, what to do about the issue, or nothing, maybe. Maybe you do nothing. And then an argument is like why or why not. And so what you do is you go and you build out these issues, positions, and arguments to create a network of design concerns. And the sort of the idea behind this is, in what I have found just working with this, it's been super useful for all sorts of things. Like, I mean, obviously, product design is one thing, but also like analyzing policy, like analyzing contracts, analyzing like legal stuff, has definitely been an application of this. Because, I mean, in the case of, like, say, a contract or something, you would, like, say, okay, well, every clause of the contract is a position. Well, necessarily the contract, or the clause, and of course a clause is like a sentence or whatever, or it could be a bullet point if it's like if you're looking at legislation or something like that. And the clause is, like, gonna have something, like, it's gonna respond to something. Like, the reason why it's in the contract is you know, must or must not. It's like it's directing what the parties of the contract are doing, or if it's a law, it's like directing, like, you know, it's either defining something. We have something for defining too. So like there's a thing for concepts in here. I'm not going to show you the concepts yet because I don't have any concepts. I don't think that I want to know. Anyway, Intertwingler as well is a piece of infrastructure that I made a long time ago to not a long time. Well, yes. I mean, it's sort of the culmination of a very long thing, and I put a lot of effort. I got a grant last year to work on it for several months. I mean, you know, for the better part of a year. I mean, the grant period was only for 4 months, but I ended up working since about May of last year to about March of this year to sort of bring it up to a system that can actually be used. So anyway, Intertwingler, yeah, it's basically a web server. It's an application server. If you want that kind of language, I don't understand why the fonts don't work on this, but I'm sure I have another copy. Oh, you know what? Whatever. It's GitHub. This is a diagram of Intertwingler. It's a super low level thing. It's like you can run all sorts of stuff on it. So the job, we'll get to talking about Intertwingler another time, but the job of today is to take this front end, and the front end is currently like on this janky old like 11-year-old back end, and I want to just jettison it. It's preventing me, and it has been preventing me for a very long time from like moving very far forward with this tool. So I get it on Intertwingler, and I can do things like, you know, just dumb stuff like this done thing. You know, actually put that in and make it part of the actual code, as opposed to being like something that I'm just like fudging. So that kind of stuff. There's also like a bunch of other aspects of this. Like there is the actual project management ontology that I want to do that has been sitting like let me see actually. Process. When did I write this? Oh my God, 2009 is when I first drafted this. That's crazy. So yeah, it's been 15 freaking years. This has been in mothballs for 15 years. I don't remember like what its situation was in 2009, but I mean, the basic concepts were there. But the idea is this subclass is this. And so the plan is to extend this IBIS tool. Anyway, so let's just like there's the actual IBIS tool stuff in here. So we'll start here. So I want to use Intertwingler to run my web properties. Actually, there's another, well, we'll see. Actually, let's just generalize this here and say client wants to use client. Interesting. Oops. There we go. Anywho, why are we? Come on. What the heck? All right. Okay. That's problematic. I don't know how I feel about that. The, oops. I'm trying to get to that. Right. There we go. I think what ended up happening was the, well, maybe not, rekeying. I think what ended up happening was the VPN rekeyed. Anyway, where the hell was I? Okay. Actually, we're going to do this. Client wants to use Intertwingler. This generalizes. Client wants to use the IBIS. Okay, so now that's weird. Come on. Thing's like not reloading. Client wants to map. This is what I want to do. And then we go here. And pop that off. That's not right. Okay, client wants to map IBIS. Yeah, we're that's wonderful. Okay, so what else? Oh yeah, we were going to go looking for the IBIS tool in here. Port the IBIS tool in Intertwingler. So this should also, that's weird. Let's use. I should do that. Okay. This raises an issue. We'll leave it for now. So, port the IBIS tool to Intertwingler. What do we need to do with that? So this is sort of where, oh, and the other thing too, also, client wants to use the IBIS tool. They should also specialize. Generalize. Client wants, excuse me, what? What does the client want? The client wants to, wants the ability to create multiple IBIS networks. And so that is a response. Create some UI that a forward's creating. And so this is what we're doing today. A forward's creating forwards. creating a new IBIS. Blah, blah, blah. Create some UI that affords creating a new IBIS network. Or scaleless concept scheme. Okay, so these are this is sort of where this is going to sort of demonstrate like what the point of this particular thing is and why you wouldn't use something like Obsidian or frickin' Notion or whatever for it. So the issue, where is an issue? So there's this question by, what about when the IBIS entity in context, does it get ported to the other network? Good question. What else? What about renaming a network? What about the ability? So you can see this at the bottom. It says Intertwingler MVP. That's what I'm talking about. What else? Oh yeah, I was gonna do this. Where are we here? Where's the notice? Beep. Come on. There we go. What is all this crap on the window? Oh, I don't care about this. How do you stop? Whatever. How do you stop, like, editing the layout? I want to be finished, so you don't screw around with stuff while you're live. Oh, I see what it is. Okay. Doi. All right. That's just Twitch, though. That's YouTube is. They don't let you mess around with that. Okay, what about the ability to rename a network? Okay, so like I just roughed in like a thing there, but it's like I don't know, right? I don't know if that's gonna be what I want to keep on there. These I have to light up too. I actually have to like get it's just stuff that's in there. So whatever, we'll just keep doing this. What about the ability to rename a network? Also, do we want to focus? Do we always want to focus? The new network. Yeah, okay. There's some also this we want to go back to. Client also wants, so this is, we also want to make some UI for its switching. So this, of course, you can fit. And yeah, this is actually going to be questioned by the same thing. Do we always want to focus? Yeah, okay. Do we always want to focus the network? So, and you can kind of see like how this develops over time, right? Like, we might actually want to say that this should be the same UI. So we might actually say like, create a UI, makes me UI that make a unified UI for switching and or creating new IBIS networks and or. So focusing, and then this should respond to. And then this can generalize the other thing. Well, you're not in there. Sometimes it doesn't catch it. I'm not really too sure what its damage is. That's annoying. There you are. Maybe that's like user preferences. I don't know. See, this is the thing. Actually, well, here we go. Suggestion is the focus. Question is the focus. Is it a property of the graph tool? Like, so I have this graph tool on ontology. So, and this is where the see also stuff comes in. So we'll just go here. I kind of feel like, okay, whatever. So I have this graph. Yeah, well, I have this. So the way that I figured out, like once upon a time, this was just what you see more or less. And then once upon a time, I guess it was last December, I just like I actually made it so that the home page is a separate sort of thing. And or rather, the home page is like it's just a different entity. It's this CGTO space entity. And the idea behind that was to sort of separate it from, like, it's like you want to have it have a URL and you want to have it have a type. So I made this sort of collaborative graph tool ontology to like house the just like the site as being separate, because the way that it used to work, where are we here, is, so I mean, you click on that, you go to the index, which is not very pretty at the moment, because I don't really know what to do with this, like at the moment quite yet. We'll get there. Anyway, but you can see it's got the same structure. So anyway, so we'll just go back to where we were here. So client wants the ability to create multiple IBIS networks. Neat. Make a unified UI. Okay. So we can just like nuke these. We don't need to do these because they are already in there. It's just redundant, so we can just pare that down. That's another thing you can do with this. New IBIS network for switching networks. I want to say that there's like, because the idea, now that I'm thinking about it, there's like a user specific like preference record, sort of nebulous object. Where is it here? Well, either of these. Do we always want to focus? Yes. What about the ability to rename network? Okay. What about the IBIS entity in context? Does it get ported? These are all good questions. This is kind of one of those, like, this is what it's supposed to do, right? Like, it's supposed to smoke out the issues. And the idea is it puts it in a structure so that there's like, it's somewhere, it's got a URL, you can point at it. It doesn't have attribution yet, but one of the things that I originally did, so when we go back to here, this is the vocabulary I did. I'm actually really surprised at the PM vocabulary, like the process model vocabulary. So this is December 11th, 2012. I'm pretty sure that's not even the earliest date. But you can see like all of the classes of thing. And it's just that you got this thing called an IBIS entity. Does that not click? No. The other ones too. It's this is so inconsistent. Like the quality, it is the quality. It's just. But anyway, where are we here? So yeah, this says 2012. I'm pretty sure it's older. It's really kind of weird that the process model ontology says 2009. That should be, if that says 2009, then I'm damn sure it's 2009. This is based on this. So I don't know how the thing that depends on the thing is older than the thing it depends on, like that doesn't make any sense to me. But like if this says it was made in 2009, then that's absolutely correct. But this says it was made in 2012, and I feel like it's actually older. If it's older though, I don't know. But the sort of the precision of the fact that there's an exact date on that in 2009 makes me say this is real. Although I may have like made destructive updates to it. Like it may not initially have depended on the IBIS stuff, and now it does, or it did as of whenever. But yeah, anyway, so this is like the underpinning data vocabulary that sort of like expresses all the stuff in this. It's also incidentally why it makes it very easy to do all of the CSS. And you just do the CSS on the SVG as well. Very handy. Okay, so what we're talking about is we're talking about this little thing down here. And obviously I'm going to have to like JavaScript that. That's fine. So yeah, we want to answer these questions like, so we're going to need to go like this. We're going to say, so we're going to say also, where are we here? So what if the, oh, we also want to be able to say, so like what about switching, because the old one, or the one that I'm doing this, okay, this is just the overview. You click on that. It goes, I don't know why that doesn't load. It's not an error. I think I just like actually commented it out on the one in production, but nobody messed, you know, whatever. Because anyway, bottom line is you also want an overview link here. So we also want to be able to go to, I wondered, like, this is the thing, is like, do I want to fiddle around with the, like, okay, so if you go to new, like, do I want to like replace, I mean, I guess I could, like, so, okay, so like, here's the thing, here's sort of what I'm thinking is like I want to, like, just how this is just like a you go, where are we here? Like you can go to the thing. It's just like you go to it. So like, do I want to like double this up and just do like put the control on top of that? So it's sort of like if you click it, it becomes editable, you know, and then if you click it again, I don't know. Like what is the interaction for that? That's just the question. It's like you want to be able to rename it. If there's a new one, you want that to turn into the, like, anyway, let's just go to the actual code. It's XSLT, by the way, because I am a fucking psychopath. I mean, I have a good reason for that. Because it's super easy. It's also fast. It kind of sucks to type, but that's what your editor's for. Okay, where are we here? Footer. text placeholder equals. Oh, yeah, good. Right? We'll just load that. Sometimes you got a hard refresh. Okay, there it is. The name. Like, that would be easier to implement. It wouldn't be as slick. Okay, so do we always want to focus the new network? Well, I mean, we can do this. So we say focus the primary. So like this is where we argue. How's response? Do we always want to focus? Focus the okay, so always focus new network. Okay. Supported by it's simple. Focusing. Really that big a deal. It really doesn't. It doesn't. It's like it's not. Who cares, right? Is really what that is. But then we can oppose this issue by saying that we just shouldn't make destructive changes to. We shouldn't make destructive changes to the. Or this could be. It could be disruptive to the. Yeah. That's not it. It's like changing the focus could disrupt you just want to look at something. Sometimes maybe the user maybe the user just wants to look at the different other network, create one and not switch to it. Create one and not switch to it. This is one of those like, maybe the user wants this. This is a empirical user research question. It would actually be like useful to be able to like flag that as being empirical. It's not a bad idea. And what we would say though is we would say that switching the focus could cause them to make a mistake. Switching the focus. Conspicuous. See, I really have to I gotta do something a little bit different with this. think like maybe the user assertions should just be like anyway. Okay, so do we always want to focus the new network? Okay, well, you know, we have always focused the network. How about never focus the new network? Or only focus the new network? What happened? Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Where did it go now? There we go. Okay, only the focus the new network if the see how this works? You've actually got structured argumentation here. Okay. The user can signal their intent. i.e. through a dedicated button. i.e. that is, e.g. example. i.e. literally stands for id est. Id est literally translates to that is. Any Hooters? We're not here for a ancient Latin lesson. Only focus new network if the user. Why is this supported? Why do we want to do this? Why do we not want to do this? New extra buttons are clutter. Buttons are clutter. Potentially clutter. This could be this is another empirical thing. What else? Only focus network. Supported by the intent is always clear. Well, I mean, that's a pretty good argument. Great. The user's intent. Kind of looks like a little, I don't know what. Ideally, what I would like it to do, because like this is silly. You can see as it gets farther away, like the way that the, because hyperbolic space gets bigger the farther, this is polar hyperbolic space too, so it gets like bigger the farther away it gets from the origin. But all I did for this representation is I just took like a flat square grid and I looped it around and then I changed the dimensions to make it hyperbolic. So like these are miles away from each other. And really what I need to do is like each rung, I need to like actually increase the space between the elements on each rung. And that's gonna need a whole bunch of thinking, which is why I haven't done it yet. Like I wanna be able to just like spend some time like just focusing on that issue. Okay, anyway. So to focus the this should be, we want to move in here, this, do we always want to, oh, it is on there, okay. Never mind then. What about the ability to rename a network? Make a, I mean, it's just make. Fair enough. I don't know if we have to argue about this, but we can say, like, what about setting or resetting the arc's name? Do we want to try? We can just make this like a specialized UI. So now we can sort of see how that goes. Oops. Come on. Whatever. Make a UI. Switching IBIS. So this business about focusing. Where are we here? Do we want, this is this thing, it's like, do we want to try to do shenanigans? The issue is, what is the issue anyway? It's like having a separate field. There are other things that you could do. Oh no, because that's going to be ambiguous, right? Like, so we need a create a blah, blah, blah. How do we do this? Do we do it as a drop down? Do we do it as a thingy? Okay. How do we implement it? Implement as a drop down, implement. Pros, easy. Drop downs are easy too. Drop downs can get big. Oops. That's what I wanted to do. I'm going to just say this is easy to implement. Okay. The other one is so implement the network switcher as a that's tempting. Pros. Supported by. Take up less space. I want to fill text box. Will autofill text box can handle unlimited. Has an unlimited. I know what. So those are pros. Has an unlimited capacity. Is easier to deal with. I'm just gonna say it's easier to deal with, and is easier to deal with when there are lots than a drop down. Lots. Lots of entities. Now the bads. I would say autofill text box. Boxes are, we already use them. Implemented inconsistently. Seriously, see what they look like in Chrome. They behave differently. And I believe the Safari looks a heck of a lot. Yes, sir. There will need to be. There will be an ambiguity with the intent of. Is it a rename or is it a new? Are you renaming? This is. I really wish I should. Well, I'm gonna make that like stretch. It's not a high priority. Okay, what else? So you would need 2 buttons anyway, if you were to do that. Yeah, I'm thinking the autofill for this is no good. There could be a third option for. Anyway. Okay. I'm just like thinking about what that action will look like. Oh, Let's get back to here. Do we always want to focus the new network? Always focus the network. So the other thing that we would want to do is like say like which ones were adopted, which is going to be going like this is the sort of the thing, like one of the things that you can't do because of the back end that it's on is like it's just so sclerotic, like it's such a pain in the ass to work with. Like just the like that's sort of what Intertwingler does is it makes it Jesus Christ. Blah, blah, blah. You gotta believe me. Always focus the network. Only play focus the network. Okay. So I think I'm gonna like, this is what I've already got. This is gonna like the only thing is it just makes the implementation like a little bit goofy. Because like what's gonna have to happen? All right, so let's say you go to new, you create a name, and then this create button should switch to, or this go button should switch to create, maybe. But then you got the set focus issue there too. Should it just be rename and focus? Like, let's see here. Rename. What I said, rename. It'll be like rename and focus. Rename, don't focus. Like that's going to be dumb. And if that's new, that's not rename, that's create. Yeah. Yeah, so if that's like that, then that's how you rename it. Like, I just don't like that, though. Like, ideally, I want to make it so that you hit enter on that, they'll just rename it. Oh, and also, what if the thing is already focused? Do we show the focus UI if the network is already focused? focus. I'm going to say no. Yes, always show. Yeah. Ah, but what if you want to set question by what if you want to set the focus without navigating? Now we're in the weeds. You can tell by the graphic just how far in the weeds we are. That's what I kind of like about it. It's a little too extreme though. I need to like kind of pull it back a bit in time. What do we got? Okay. I mean, I think what we're doing here is we're shaking out all of the possibilities. I'm going to say something actually. I'm going to say that, first of all, how's response? No. Move the set focus. The third option is keep the focus button, keep the focus. disable it. So there's 3 possibilities here. Kind of looks like a flower. Like it looks like a baby's breath or something like that. Dandelion. I don't know. I'm actually thinking the set focus operation because the thing is like these entities can exist in multiple, like they can live in more than one at once. Which is fine. That's what you want. I think that's what I want to go with, is I want to keep the focus button and disable it. Clicking on. Do we want to make this is just going to be should the focus button to the should the focus button also navigate to the network overview? Yes. I'm going to say, I know I'm going to say no, but supported by. Focusing the network should also go to it. just going to say oppose. Disrupt. I'm just trying to figure out how to word this. Focusing the network should also go to it, or should it? Should the focusing... You focus the network... I mean, it obviously shouldn't. But if the network overview if we navigate to the network, overview of a network which is not in focus, how do we take focus? It's like we're way the hell over there. Okay, we'll just come back here. Yeah, I can't wait to like just take some sweet time to just like massage this visualization. I like it in principle. It's just like the fine-grained details. Because the thing is like, the funny thing that I have found when making this kind of stuff is that there's a lot of like drawing graphs is actually like, there's people do PhDs on that stuff. Like, it's not trivial. And so if you want to come up with a visual design that like, you've got to get up a whole schmack and whack of data. And then you just have to try stuff. And stuff is like math intensive and data intensive and schlep intensive. And so like it moves extremely slowly. And like everything that you see in the visual design of the graph drawing is so like, it's just, it just moves glacially because like you want to, I mean, I can't remember how long this took, but this is like the third visualization iteration. Like this is the third try attempt since I first started. Yeah. And actually it's the fourth because I tried another one that I just never, I never mobilized. But it's just freakishly hard to just try stuff because it's, I mean, hard. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of math. It's a lot of like reading academic papers and it's like just trying stuff. And it's like the amount, like, it's going to take you a week or two to find out that it sucks. You know, because most of the effort is in the setup. And so you go and you write a whole bunch of code and then you try it and you're like, it's crap. And this is like, so this is like serviceable. It's not the best. Again, like, cause it's not doing quite the right stuff, but you know, it's like, it'd be like one of those things is like if I had like a month, like just to work on the visualization and nothing else, not have to noodle or mess around in anything else, like I could probably nail it. But like that, like when I can schedule that month, like who the hell knows? Anyway, I think it might be wine time, so I'm going to run over and grab that just a second. So I'm just going to... Whoops. Sometimes I wrote like little Emacsy thingy doos for like controlling OBS, and they just don't work sometimes. It's actually Emacs wrapping Python, which wraps or which connects to the WebSocket thing. So it's like this total Rube Goldberg thing. And sometimes it just does not, it just doesn't get the hint. I don't know. So I think I've done things like unmute. So I have like a thing to mute and unmute myself, which I should be able to like. No. Are we? Yeah. That's. So I was pounding it there, and it wasn't doing it. So your mileage may vary. Okay. So I think what we're doing is we're narrowing down some of the variables here. Should the focus button? Yes, focusing should also go to it. No, stay where you are. Use a different. To navigate. Yeah. Okay, so this like rename and focus thing is not. Maybe it should be like this. Hang on a second. We'll just put that there. We'll go here. We'll do this. Oops. Get out of here, Emacs. We'll say go. Rename. Actually, let's do this. Go, set focus. And the rename will be like, it'll become create. Right? If I go, and like what that would look like too is if I just said button focused. Is this how you do it? Yeah. I should gray that out. I don't know why I haven't. Well, I guess I probably just haven't ever touched the CSS for that bit. And if you go to new, then the go will become grayed out. Now the other question is like, maybe set focus is not the right one. Because there's the other issue of, like, say that you create a new one, and this is the other thing, is like when you go to new, this isn't rename, this is create. The set focus should just I don't mean. Like the go button. See, this is why I don't like if I could just amalgamate these two somehow. Like, what if you sort of like you clicked on this? I don't know. No, because that's gonna that's gonna be a whole freaking deal. You try to like double up the form controls. No, that's gonna be a monstrosity. Don't do that. So yeah, we go to new. Right, okay, so what should happen here? You click on, so you, first of all, this is going to be whichever one it is, whichever one is focused. That's going to be tough because, like, what happens if the current entity is in 2? Then you should pick the focused one. What if it's in 2 and it's what if it's in 2 and neither of them are focused? So these are questions that need to be recorded somewhere. Sorry. I'm definitely thinking that the focus should not be a part of the space. It should be a part of the user. Or like the user's preference object or something like that. Because that way everybody can have their own, like a multi-user situation, everybody can have their own focus. Where is that anyway? Let's go back there. Just click into the mass. Does it get ported? Focus. This might be an opportunity to like just say what focus is. I mean, like, focus is exactly what it sounds like. It's like which one of these things is in focus at the moment. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing too. Like, if you go to new, how do we choose? I'll also update this to say from a what about the type of network? This is something I'm actually kind of ambiguous about anyway. Ambivalent, ambiguous, whatever. Another drop down. Big ups to my girlfriend for teaching me how to not pour ridiculously huge glasses of wine. I mean, we're going to drink it all anyway, but I used to pour way more per glass. I'm not worried. I can go find it. It's there. Anyway, okay. How's response? Use a drop down. Like in the initialization phase. Again, what are we going to do with the drop-downs? What's the plus side of a drop-down? Supported by drop-down. Drop-downs are easy to implement. Drop-down. Yeah, we don't worry about that. And we use radio buttons. Use something else. So this is like a thing like this is a stylistic thing. Like I could say like use radio buttons because there are only two things. But that's an argument. I'm just gonna don't bow. Okay. Use radio buttons. Use drop down. Okay, use radio buttons. Yeah. Response to supported by. There are only two. IBIS network and ooh. I would also say that there is a bigger target. Target 2. There's a bigger target to click. Go back here. How do we select the type? I'm going to just like put another. Hey, drop down. And this is another Nix on drop downs. Is that so supported by? Is it drop downs? Drop downs. Hide the options. Mouse. Click. Or whatever. Behind a UI. Behind a click. Which is actually so I'm gonna suggest radio. Yeah. So we haven't seen that before, that kind of connection. Okay. Rather just easy to implement as drop downs. There you go. All right. So this is one I would like love to be able to just click on that. Blah. You can kind of see these little islands getting made. What's kind of interesting about this. But also, like, you can kind of see, like, the shortcomings of the representation, too. Like, if you imagine, like, taking this and, like, like, you take it and you sort of, like, unwrap it, and you just, like, put it on a grid, it would, like, because, like, this part, like, this, again, this stretches for miles. Because the farther away you get from the center in a hyperbolic graph, like, the bigger the thing is. So these, like, stretch for miles. Like, that, I just wouldn't want it to do that. Like, I would want it to just behave better, and it's just, like, that's the thing. Like, I need to just sit down and, like, just deal with this and nothing else. And it's just like, yeah, like, I could spend a month just on this, like a solid month of waking up every day and working on this. And I would love to have the time to do that, but we're not quite there yet. So, like, where are we at? So, do we always want to focus on the network? How do we select the type of network? Okay, what about the ability to rename a network? So we're kind of before creating the IBIS. So we've got this sort of selector. And this is going to live. See, this is the things I can't actually go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to. Is it inventory? Whatever. We'll just scheme. Wait a minute. No, it is scheme. So we'll just. We'll just put that there. Try it. Because I can't actually, like, whatever. Maybe I'll put that on the other side of it. Yeah, okay. That's right. That should go to itself, does it? It does. Okay. Where are we at? It's like almost 11, but we're good. Boop. I'm gonna just do this. If those things are whatever, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Reload, there we go. It's fine, we'll do it for now. What? It's weird as shit people put in their bios. Right. All the things. So, where are we at? Mixing UI that affords creating a new IBIS network. Blah, blah, blah. Do we always want to focus the network? Do we always? How do we select the type of network to be created? Okay, we figured that out. Yes. So I'm going to say I'm just going to put that there. But it's still not actionable in its own right. So we will generalize and we'll say create. Yeah. So this is a task. This also specializes Switching IBIS networks. This. So this is a task, like these things are, this is like in the sort of the next gen of this thing, like these will be a different class of entity, which is a task, like a thing to actually do, and then I can have like UI for like who and when and how long and so on. All right. Yeah, so let's sort of create plus create and focus. The question is, so it's like a go, a set focus. Okay. So we have the drop down. Are we showing this? Yeah, we're showing this. Okay, cool. Whenever. We're going to have go. We're going to set focus. Okay. We're going to have the text box to rename it. See, this is the thing that I don't like. Rename. Okay. And this is like optionally focus. Whatever. Okay. Then on the new one, we're going to have the drop down for new. Let's see. Okay, drop down. New. There's no go. There's no set focus. There's just the text. There's create. And then maybe create plus focus. No, because if you create, This is why this sucks. This might work. Oh, and then there's the type too that needs to be in here. Okay, yeah. So this will have to. It's IBIS. Scos. Whatever. Then the text. Okay, so then we can just, we have like parity here. I think that's the thing to do. Okay, I think I know what to do. Wow, the YouTube is like really behind. And just like watching it. The Twitch is like only a few seconds and the YouTube is like the better part of a minute almost. Maybe not quite. Gross. Why would you do that? Okay, whatever. Okay, I think I'm like kind of narrowing this down. Because the thing is like, you create the new guy. That's a good question, is like, how do you unbind? Like import this node. With a checkbox. Yeah. I think where are we here? This is the problem with this is like I still like I want like a little bit better navigability. And I mean, also just like what would be really ideal, I think, is like, and this doesn't do yet, but you like take the like so the idea is like in the PM ontology, in the process model ontology, you've got three entities again: goal, task, and target. And the idea is that an issue turns into a goal. Oops. So yeah, an issue graduates into a goal. And a goal is just like a binary thing, like is the goal satisfied? So like a goal is a qualitative thing. And then the idea there is like a position graduates into a task. So like a position is like starts off as like we should do X, and then graduates into like a task, which is we're going to do X. And then you can have a target, and a target is the sort of maturation. So like again, like a goal can graduate into a target with budgets and deadlines, and who's responsible, and and so on and so forth. Like you can sort of get the racy stuff in there, like the whatever it is, RACI. I can't remember what it stands for. What is RACI? Responsibility Assignment Matrix. Responsible, accountable, consulted, informed. So yeah, you would be able to like put that in there. Get out of here. We can hear the helicopter go by. Wonderful. I have the window open because we're kind of at the point where we're like the next couple of weeks is gonna go from like AC to heater real quick. So this is like one of the rare moments that I can have the window open. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. So, are those connected? They are connected. They have to be connected. What else do we got? I have to do this still. What is this? This is the thing. It's kind of interesting because you can see how there's these two islands. Client wants the ability to, okay. Multiple IBIS networks. And there you go. So this would be a task at this point because it starts with make. You're not saying like what should be, because like what should be done. Because like what I've found is like an issue, like just so like all of this stuff is typed, right? So like an issue, like the whole way that this stuff can be styled is because it's all typed. And of course, like the whole, like these connections are controlled by the fact that these are typed. And like 11 o'clock. And so, yeah, anyway, like, whatever. So I think I have a plan. This. So this is the like existing. This is new. Yeah. What I could even do is I could make the button like stateful, like I could just, like I could gimmick it. So you click on rename and it. You click on rename and it turns into well, you can click on rename and it just like turns into or you can just click on the text box and the text box says rename. Well, whatever, we'll figure that out in the implementation. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go, and then this is sort of this import this guy. Would only make sense to do in the entity pages and the entity things. Oh, and it would only make sense to do like so. Okay, we gotta. Do we always orders creating a new network? Okay, that has to be this. Question by what about? So we just got to figure this out. We could say toggle. Create a toggle, make a toggle for this. Oops. Think about like the back button in this is it, well, make a toggle or I think that's going to make a mess. I think that's going to make a mess. That maybe makes us important. Since we're creating new networks, but and it also should only be in the context of setting the focus. Anyway. Yeah, we can just call it node. Whatever. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. This is like a general problem of like getting nodes into networks. There's a couple questions. So there's a suggestion and a question. So there appears to be a general issue of getting nodes into networks. Question by, what are we doing here? Whew. How do we get nodes out of networks? Question by. Anyway. Okay. Nobody's watching, so I think I'm going to call it. It's also 11:20, and okay.